know what? Screw it. Let's get the face cam. I'll put it on the face cam. It feels kind of weird on that face cam. So give me like a couple seconds here. I thought I wanted to do a stream with no face cam, but I kind of want face cam now. Webcam's on. What's up? Alright. Okay, let's get this stream underway, and we're just going to talk about the OKL and all the teams that are drafted, because why not? I think I'm the only one to make all these content on this draft league, but it's like, it is a draft league that that's made of like 20 or so friends, and we're just going to talk about all the teams that were drafted. Make sure that I just spread this properly. Alright, so let's get into it, and we're just going to go one by one in the teams, and I'll just very briefly go over how this is all formatted. So this is me, Beastly / Joe's league. This is my third season competing in the league, and like I said, there's 20 or so people. There's about 20 people in the league who drafted. And how the draft works is that we all start in section. We have 60 points overall, and then we just draft from these tiers. Everyone makes their section A picks first, and then everyone makes their section B picks, and then everyone makes their section 3 picks until you have 9 Pokemon. And you have to make at least one pick from section A and section B. That's how this works. Alright, so going into the draft, the first pick was Zamazenta overall. That makes complete sense. This thing is a monster. It is legal right now in that Dex OU, which is why we have it legal here. But just look at these stats, man. This thing is ridiculous. It's no wonder this is the first one I'm taking, right? It's a cover legendary. It has cover legendary stats. It is one of the fastest Pokemon available in the draft at base of 138. Great defenses, great attack. You get a defense boost for one time. Luckily we don't allow Section 8 Pokemon like Zamazenta to have Terra, but like you could very easily just go Choice Band, Close Combat, Play Rough, and then like Psychic Fangs, Wild Charge, and just kind of run through a team with just this. Against some teams, you don't even have to run Jolly. You can just run Adamant and just go full baller. And then like it does have some set of moves like you can use Iron Defense. You can use Iron Defense Body Press. Body Press. I mean, like invest in Special Defense. Or you can even run like a Trailblaze set, or like you can access to screens too. Like it's a very good Pokemon. Agility sets too, but I think most of the time what's gonna happen is just gonna be choice banded, and it's just gonna close combat your teams. And that's all it needs to do. It's absurdly strong. It's absurdly fast. So obviously great first pick, and then he had a Crawdon for second pick. Crawdon with your second pick like is kind of it's very interesting. Keep in mind that a lot of this goes with particular Pokemon we want to use, and so something like Crawdon I don't think would actually be like his second choice, but he obviously really wanted to use Crawdon. And most of the time, what's going to happen is that this thing has two viables. That's my opinion. You're either gonna go Choice Band, and then you're just gonna rock Aqua Jet, Knockoff, Crab Hammer, and then probably like Superpower or something, or Plus Combat. And then you're gonna run this, or you're gonna run the Sword Dance set. Or you're gonna run the Sword Dance set, which just pretty much this. Pretty much this, and maybe like Life Orb or something. And those are two ways you're gonna run it. He took two Wall Breakers with his first two picks. Not at all a bad strategy. Not at all a bad strategy. These Pokemon can learn through things. And Crawdon, Aqua Jet is the best priority available in the game. So. And then he dropped a Togekiss, very just good mon overall. I've been wanting to use Togekiss for a while, but I can never fit it into like my teams that I wanted to draft. But it's really good. It's very, very, very versatile Pokemon. You can make a nasty plot set. You can make it a net. Why are you up at 40 a.m.? Because I'm bored and I'm on vacation. So, but yeah, you can make it a nasty plot set. You can make it like a Choice Scarf set and just run Air Slash. And just try and try and flinch people with Air Slash, Serene Grace. You can make it like a completely support set with things like Wish, Thunder Wave, and like Defog. Nah, I'm usually at these hours anyway. But yeah, Togekiss is a very good Pokemon. And he has Chandelure, it's a good Wall Breaker, Mega Pidgeot, which surprisingly not a lot of Megas are taken here. Whose team is this? I just started. This is this person's team. I don't know. I don't remember all the teams. I don't remember whose teammates are whose. This might be Dingle's team. I don't remember though. Yeah, this is Mega. This is a Mega Pigeon. Mega Pidgeotto. Mega Pidgeotto is really good. It's like the only thing that holds it back is you have to run the Mega Stone, obviously, and so every time you come in, you're gonna take rocks damage, and that's a big weakness to his team, right? He has 3 Pokemon that are weak to rocks, and I think there's more on his team. Actually no. Yeah, he has 3 Pokemon weak to rocks, and he has only 4 of hazard control. And he gotta make separate 2, right? He has 2 forms of hazard control. He has the Eldegoss, and he has the Togekiss. And then he drafted Reverie, which is a great pick. This is one of the best Pokemon in Section C. This thing can do so much. It can set up hazards like Toxic Spikes if you wanted to, but most likely you're just gonna use it whenever you bring it. It's just gonna run Shift Gear, Iron Head, Poison Jab / Gunshot, and you're just gonna run Terra Blast into your whatever type. When I use this, like when the game first came out, I ran Terra Fire, but obviously depending on your opponent, you can run something different. And again, it's a very good mon. Like, he has a lot of offensively really good Pokemon. Like, Zamazenta is a huge offensive threat. Crawdon's a huge offensive threat. Chandelure is a huge offensive threat. Pidgeot's a huge offensive threat. Rillaboom's a huge offensive threat. This is Legend? Okay, that makes sense. I don't remember all the team names. He has also Uxie, which is his only form of Stealth Rock, I'm pretty sure. This is like his only hazard on the team besides his Rillaboom's Toxic Spikes. So if he doesn't want to bring hazards at all, he has to use Uxie to use Stealth Rock. So, which is like his biggest weakness. I would say that this guy, Legend, has no hazards whatsoever besides his Uxie. King Gambit at 12? It was 10 last season. I think part of that is because King Gambit became the second most popular mon in Scarlet Violet OU. And like was one of the most popular mons in Napdax for a while. I don't see... I guess technically Rampardos could use Stealth Rock. And with Mold Breaker you can use Stealth Rock to get past like things like Magic Bounce. But mostly, what your company is just going to do is just you're just going to run Choice Band as Magic if you ever decide to bring this mon. I don't think you ever really realistically bring Rampardos because of how awful it is. I think this is like one of those useless mons in draft. Like it only has what is this thing ever going to come in safely and be able to get off a head smash or something? Like it's never going to be able to do it. Like you need to get it in on like a toxic effect specifically off of Chilly Reception. True, Tyler used King Gambit horribly last season. And then his last pick was Eldegoss, which Eldegoss really rounded out his team well because it's a Rapid Spin mod, right? This mod is actually like pretty underrated in my opinion. The fact it's only 2 is really surprising. And I was actually looking at picking it up until he drafted it. But between like Rapid Spin, Aromatherapy, Sleep Powder, like it's just a really good support mod that really rounds out his team. Because if he wanted to use Hazard Control, he would be forced around like Defog and Togekiss or something. But now with Eldegoss in the team, it gives him the flexibility to just make this as Hazard Control instead. It seems alright. I think like it leans way too far into the offensive pressure, the offensive game plan, where it's just hyper offense. Where like his only defensive Pokemon are gonna be like Togekiss if he wants to run it defensively, and like Uxie, and I guess Eldegoss. But it's not like Uxie and Eldegoss are like threatening defensive Pokemon, right? And I think Rampardos is the most part useless Pokemon. So, but Zamazenta versus Quag, Zamazenta easily wins. That's not even, Zamazenta's gonna 2-shot. I'm gonna probably 2-shots that thing. Oh, let's bring in Pokemon Game Calculator. Let's bring in Zamazenta with just Choice Band against Quagsire. Use physically the that's 2 shots. That's not happening. Surprise. Rampardos such Uxies for Surprise Trick Room. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I just don't think. I think like Trick Room as an option for a team is fine, but like if you're gonna use a third of your team to use Trick Room for Rampardos only, I don't know. Like you're sacrificing the slots in which you could be using on like Zamazenta, Crawdon, Togekiss, Chandelure, Pidgeot, and Rillaboom. And even like Eldegoss, I think would bring more value than Rampardos in those matches. Like I think in draft, if you build your team around, you're building your entire team around Trick Room, it's horrible. But if you have a small aspect of your team that can use Trick Room, I think you could bring a good surprise bring. But you're only gonna like catch someone once, and this is the best of 3. So. Well, I'm gonna be head smashing with Arcanine. Overall, I think that team is fine. I think like it's really hard to have a bad team in draft. It's like it's just separated by tier. It's great, good, fine, bad. And I think Legend's team goes under fine for me. Like it's a hyper offense team, and like he needs to make a lot of good plays in order to use it well, in my opinion. Because like he has no turning, obviously, outside Pidgeot, and I think he gets U-turn. Yeah, this gets U-turn well. But again, if you're trying to turn with Pidgeot, you're putting a lot of pressure on it because you're going to be taking rocks every time probably. And then your only form of removal is, I guess, Pidgeot, Togekiss, which is really good removal, and Eldegoss. So like, it's a fine team. It borders on like good and fine. It's not a. It's probably just good actually, because Zamazenta probably hard carries, right? This is the best mon in the draft. I shouldn't mind. Zamazenta probably just hard carries. It's like Zamazenta, Great Tusk, and Iron Valley can just carry your team. It's like a whole tier up, to be honest. I typed in Zamazenta. That didn't happen too much. It's tough, man. You only got like 9 slots, and a lot of times you just want to use your fun Pokemon. So, alright. Next team, Exteriors of the King Gambit. I actually don't know who this is either. I don't know who this is. Dude, I wish like they put in parentheses who these people were. I know some of these team names, but I don't know all of them. Alright, anyway. Fizzif, Iron Valiant. I mean, most of the time when you use Iron Valiant, Iron Valiant can just run any offensive set it wants. Alright, so he drafted King Gambit first. King Gambit's amazing. This mon, the fact that he had a 10 last season was a crime. The good thing Tyler had it, so it wasn't spread at all. Literally, what you do is you just run max HP, and then you just go max attack, and then you can just run Cowtown Cleave, knock off because it gets the night attacks. Sucker Punch, Iron Head. That's all you need. Luckily, it doesn't have access to Terra in this format, so. But yeah, it's obviously very, very, very good. And then he dressed up his Sweet Zoroark. This is a Pokemon I don't have much knowledge of. Zoroark, Sweet, but it's not very good. 3 immunities. 4 immunities? No, 3. Very good, just like fun mon. I don't think it's a mon that's worth 11, if I'm going to be honest. These stats don't scream 11 to me. But it's very good. Bitter Mouth's obviously a pretty good move. Can run Knockoff. It has Memento, which is a pretty cool move. It has Taunt. Taunt's always a good have in draft. Defiant, King Gambit. Defiant is always an option, because if you're a hazard stacking team, you're always going to consider Defiant. I don't think this guy is a hazard stacking team, not really. Like, he can set up rocks and multiple Pokemon, but it's not like he's setting up spikes and rocks every game, right? I don't think he even has. None of these Pokemon get spikes, so. He's going to set up rocks and do Trick Room. This is a Trick Room team. Unfortunately, he has a huge flaw in his team, which is, like, his only Trick Roomers are Espeon, Stakataka, and Malamar. It's a weird team, because I don't think, like, he always gets, like, Pokemon that can use Trick Room, and then Pokemon that can abuse it, like Omega Camera, Sakataka, King Gambit can abuse Trick Room. And even, like, Malamar. Does Malamar get Trick Room? Probably does. Malamar. Yeah, it does. Okay. I think it's one of the better sought-out Trick Room teams I've seen in draft, because like something like Malamar can come in under Trick Room and start setting up superpowers, and then it becomes a huge problem. I mean, Stakataka is the Trick Room mod, and this is like a. I don't think Mega Camera even needs Trick Room. I think it can just function fine without it. But the fact that you can use it under it makes it pretty good. It's just like to me, you're gonna set what Trick Room with like Espeon, and then like you can't even use Baton Pass in this league, so you're just gonna stay in and like I don't know. He didn't have a Trick Roomer, which is like, I'm gonna set a Trick Room, and then I can just like switch it out. He's probably gonna have to run like a eject button on like whatever he decides the Trick Room is, right? And then Terra Tinkaton is weird. Maybe just wants really strong Gigaton Hammer. But I think Tinkaton is really good about Terra. I think Tinkaton is one of the best Pokemon in Section C overall. Fairy Steel is always a great typing. And then he has Mousehold for even more hazard control. It's such a weird team. I don't think, like... It's one of those teams where, like, yeah, he can probably use the team. This is probably like the best Trick Room team I've seen in the 3 seasons I've been doing it. I've been part of this league. But even then, like having your whole strategy based around Trick Room is not the way to go, in my opinion. I think it's fine. I think this is a fine team. Lele gets focus blast. You probably don't kill a lot of stuff with Aura Sphere, to be honest. Even if I did get Aura Sphere, you're probably running focus blast anyway. I think this is a fine team. It is by far the best Trick Room team I've seen while reviewing these draft teams, but because it has more variability with things like Zoroark and Maushold, and even like Gligar and Tinka done a really good Pokemon too. But yeah, I don't. Tears of the King Gambit. I don't remember who this guy is. Alright. Save Life for an Eye. This is Obese. I really like his team. I really like this team. I think Buzzwole is an offbeat. Buzzwole is like an offbeat first pick, but I like it. It's one of those Pokemon that you draft because you want to use it, and it can put in a lot of work, right? You can be AV, you can run Choice Band. You don't like the team, Shan? Well, I mean, your team is probably fine. I have not looked at it too much yet. But yeah, this thing can... Obviously, Buzzwole has the potential to take over games. Volcanion, I really like Volcanion. I don't think there's much analysis that needs to be done. Scarf Specs, Lele, yeah, you can run Scarf Specs or Calm Mind. Those are 3 sets you use on Lele. You're not really gonna run anything else. Yeah, Water Meaning's really good. This thing gets Defog, so that's an option for you. Light Orb is stacking. Yeah, this is a really good Pokemon. Like, Water, Fire, Stab is really hard to compete with. And then, you even have, Latias for a good, not even, defensive background, but it's a good Pokemon, right? You want things like Defog, Draco Meteor, Ice Beam, T-Bolt, Surf. You can use it a lot of different ways. It's probably going to be pigeonholed into Defog, because this is the only hazard removal on the team. Well, actually, no, at least you get Defog too, but this is the most reliable form of hazard removal. I think Mega Steelix is a very underrated Pokemon. Super high defense. Super high defense, pretty good special defense too. For what you can just max there, and you don't have to worry about this too much. And then you're really threatening just Earthquake, Gyro Ball, or Gyro Ball, Heavy Slam, whichever one. You have Stealth Rock, you can do Toxic. I really like Mega Steelix. Even Shaman. I think Shaman is also a pretty slept on Pokemon. You can run this either offensively or defensively, because Sea Flare being base 120 is always going to give you incentive to run to be offensive. But even then, it has good support options like Healing Wish, Aromatherapy, so pretty good one as well. And then Nagglesack with the Terra. Just Salt Cure alone makes Nagglesack worth picking up, and then you put Terra on it, it's just Baby Guard. Obviously, the main weakness is you have to hold the Violite, but that's really a big deal, right? Vanilla, I love this Pokemon. Dash Bun, another sleeper Pokemon. Overall, I really like this Pokemon. This team. I would say it's one big weakness is he has no turning whatsoever. He doesn't have U-turn, flip turn, Volt Switch. So that's a decent knock. But his team doesn't really need to be his team doesn't really need to safely bring an offensive stretch, right? Because Shaman is a bulky offense mon. This is a bulky offense mon. Bulky offense, bulky offense, bulky offense. So it'd be nice to have those moves or that option, but he doesn't need it on his team, right? So I think Obese's team goes in the great category. I think his team is really good. Really balanced team. Dreepy Boys, I don't know who this is again. my impression of this team is that it's fine. Obviously Hisuian Samurott, really good Pokemon. It sets up spikes for free. Incredibly valuable asset to have. It sets up spikes without having to waste a turn setting up spikes, right? The Ceaseless Edge, and then you get boosted by Sharpness. That's all that. Ceaseless Edge. That's what we're hearing. That's what you're gonna play for 90% of the time when you use a Pokemon. But it also has like Water, Dark Stab, and Knockoff, so obviously really good, very good Pokemon. But then the disconnect on me for this team is when you bring in Cinderace. I feel like a lot of the value that you get with Cinderace is being able to use Court Change. And if you pair Court, but it's very counterintuitive to Ceaseless Edge. Because obviously if you use Ceaseless Edge, Spike's going to be on their side, and you Court Change, you're going to get the Spikes that you just set up on there. So like, it's very counterintuitive. So you're realistically never going to use Court Change on this at all. And you're just going to run it as like an offensive Pokemon. For like Pyro Ball, high jumping and stuff. And I feel like you're not using Cinderace to its full value if you're not utilizing Court Change. So it feels like a wasted opportunity cost. Or missed opportunity cost. Because there's other Pokemon in this 12 set I think would have been better for sort of for an offensive threat. Even like Heatbrand is there, Greninja is there, Zap Weavile, Zeraora, Mega Charizard, Mega Mawile. I feel like this Pokemon would have benefited more. It's not like Cinderace is going to be bad in this team. Cinderace is going to be really, really good in this team. But I think like it could have been even better. But then he does have Aegislash. Aegislash, very good Pokemon with the form change ability. And then Ghost Steel, very good defensive typing. Whimsicott is a very good support Pokemon. I do like Whimsicott a lot. Donphan for hazard control is very good. The Dunsparce with the Terra goes crazy. This Pokemon is insane. Dunsparce, because it gets Calm Mind and Boom Burst, which is like all you need. So this thing's just gonna blow stuff away. Dodrio. He does have a Dodrio. Better Fearow, true. Dodrio's not bad though. It can do some stuff. It's got a decent speed tier. I think at base 105. Yeah, base 110 actually. So it's got a decent speed tier. And flying stab. This thing gets knockoff. Actually, this thing's kind of crazy. Hold up, it gets Sword Stance, knockoff, Brave Bird, jump kick. No, this thing can do stuff. Pretty good too. I don't know in what circumstance you bring Dodrio over to Dunsparce, but. Weezing is a solid. Is that regular Weezing? That's kind of weird. I don't know. It's like one of those teams where I'm going to go up against. And I'm like, oh, I gotta watch out for spikes. And Aegislash is kind of a threat, and Cinderace is going to put in a little bit of work, and I have to be careful with the Dunsparce. But like, those threats by themselves aren't that big of a deal. Like overall, like you can probably manage those like pretty, not easy, but like relatively easily compared to other stuff in the draft. I think it's a fine team. It's like the Cinderace pick really confuses me. I feel like if this was like Mega Mawile or like Mega Charizard, I would feel so much better about this team. But it's Cinderace. If you're using Court Change with a Ceaseless Edge, it's just you're never gonna use Court Change. It's like a lot of the value that Cinderace brings, right? So I think it gets a fine for me. It's definitely one of those team building disconnects, right? Where like, I'm really confused on why you have Cinderace with Samurott. Like a Cinderace could have been something else, and I think the team would have been a lot better. All right, this is Adam's team. Yeah, this is Adam's team. It's a suspect. Actually, I know this guy. I know this guy. Electrode goes hard. Electrode is very good. But yeah, his first Pokemon was Urshifu. I think he had this last season. Obviously, very good Pokemon. It's just you're either gonna run Choice Band, or you're gonna run Swords Dance, or you're gonna run Choice Scarf. One of those three sets. And you're just gonna use your Water Stab with I can't remember what it's called. Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Aqua Jet, and then like if you're running Sword Dance, you're running Sword Dance obviously, or if you're running Choice Band, you're probably gonna heck in like Thunder Punch or something, or Rock Slide, or even like U-Turn. So you're probably gonna see 90% of battles from Adam. He might run Sword Dance, but Urshifu is a really good Pokemon. And he has Mega Arrow, very just good Mega. I don't think Mega Arrow has like the carry potential too, because it has 150 speed and then it has Dragon Dance. So like we talked about with Mega Pidgeot earlier though, because it's forced to have the Mega Stone. It did, yeah, I did. I remember that. Because it's forced to have the Mega Stone, you have to be careful of rocks, right? So make sure it's like, and I think like it's a big problem with this team, right? His hazard control is just Murkrow, right? This is the only thing that gets hazard control on his team. Yeah, the hazard control thing is such a big deal for me here, especially if you're using Mega Arrow, right? And even like Ceruledge, like Ceruledge most of the time doesn't want to run heavy duty boots, right? So like Mega Arrow defog, it could, but you're gonna take 24%, 25% every time you try to come in defog, and since you're frail, so you don't want to waste a turn defogging. I really like Galarian Slowking on this team though, because you get the free. You can either run this. Why did I do that one? Slow. Okay, I really like this Pokemon because like Drown the Poison is already great because you can get rid of Toxic Spikes if they're ever up against you. And then you can just use Chili. I feel like most breaks you can bring Chili Reception, but AV is also an option. But yeah, Chili Reception, and then you can get out to your strats Mega Arrow or Shifu. Ground and Poison means you're going to get rid of Toxic Spike, and these stats are very good. You can run either Fizz Death or Special Defense depending on the matchup. Zoroark, I think it's a fine Pokemon. It's one of those things where like it's a fun Pokemon to use, but I don't. It's like it'll get okay mileage on this team. I don't think it's gonna be a crazy Pokemon for him. And then he has Electro and Hisuian, which is very good Pokemon, especially with the Terra Captain, right? Yeah, so stats like these, and then you can just run like Thunderbolt or Electro Ball, whichever one, Leaf Storm, and then you're gonna run Terra Blast. And most of the times it's gonna be like this is probably gonna be Terra Ice. And your last one doesn't really matter. But then there's also like a fast taunt. You can run Sub Leech Seed, Terra Grass. Yeah, you can also just use Terra to boost its stabs too if you don't need Terra Ice. So I think Electro's a really good Pokemon. It's also a really good speed control Pokemon, but he didn't really need it because he has Mega Arrow already. But two of the fastest Pokemon in the game on this team, and we don't have to cry about it. And then Corsola is a very annoying Pokemon. If your team, it's like one of those things where like you should be able to deal with it just by hitting it with Toxic and Knockoff, and then that is just dealt with. But it can put a lot if you're not like prepared for it. Then it's something that like, you see on his team like, okay, I have to bring Toxic or I have to bring Knockoff, right? Because otherwise it has a very good chance to just break through your team, to just run through your team. Especially with something like Calm Mind, Will-O-Wisp, Strength Sap, Hex. Very simple set. So this is another team where like it's fine the good range, right? Because I think it has a very obvious flaws. The lack of hazard control is a big one. Like, if Electrode had Rapid Spin, his entire issue would be solved, but he doesn't have Rapid Spin, right? I think for like the massive oversight on not getting hazard control, I think his team is fine too. I don't think it's a good team. He's gonna be able to he has really good offensive strats with Mega Arrow and Urshifu to threaten teams. And he can get into them pretty safely because of Slowking. And he has a good defensive backbone between Slowking and Corsola. It's just the hazard thing is such a big deal to me, and it's not like he's setting up hazards of his own, right? It's like he has no answers for hazards, and he also is threatening back the hazards of his own, right? So it's a fine team. It's a team of like I would have maybe thought about like Kabalion instead of Zoroark to get like Stealth Rock, and then maybe like I try and pick up like a Rabbit Spinner or something to like sterilize. I don't know. It's I think he could have optimized the team a bit better. Alright, next up we have Tyler's team. It's a good team. He thinks his team's amazing. Kabalion sucks. I think Kabalion's very good, but I guess I'm in the minority there. I don't know. I used Kabalion to great effect when I had a couple seasons ago. So. But yeah, Sweet and Braviary, that's a threat. That is a threat. Tinted. Thank God this thing is slow, because if it was not. Because if it was not, it would just tinted lens over everything. Luckily it's only base 65 speed, so it's not that huge of a threat. But yeah, obviously with Tinted Lens Hurricane plus Psychic moves is going to be just very hard to deal with. Obviously you're going to have to deal with Hurricane missing 30% of the time, but that is what it is. You also have options, like you have Calm Mind, you even have like Esper Wing too to boost your speed. And if you get up 2 Esper Wings, it's going to be really hard for this thing to deal with this thing. Even like 1 Esper Wing against like good decent amount of teams is very hard to deal with. So if you manage to just like position it well, this thing can go off, which shouldn't be that hard because he has Gliscor, and Gliscor can very easily just get his Pokemon in position. First of all, this mod is amazing. It can set up hazards, get rid of hazards. It has turning. It has Swords Dance, Earthquake. It has elemental coverage. It has knockoff. This thing has so many things it can do. Taunt. It is a very, very versatile Pokemon. One of the most versatile Pokemon in the league. See, Gliscor is very good. Gliscor, I remember that. And then he has Infernape. Another just versatile Pokemon. It can be used special, physical. It can be a Suicide League. It can have set up rocks and stuff. It can be a Swords Dance Sweeper. It can just be Choice Banded. I'm gonna close combat your team. It's very good. And then he has Excadrill too, which I really just really good Pokemon, right? He doesn't have sand on it. You don't really need sand, right? You can just Mold Breaker, Sword Dance, Rapid Spin, blow stuff up, Earthquake, Iron Head. And Galvantula is like kind of the disconnect I have on this team. It's like I get it because he wants to be able to outspeed things with Braviary with just having Sticky Web up. And also, it's decent speed control. It's 108, so it just has a Pokemon. But, like, actually, no, it's tied. So, yeah, you don't even get a new speed here, Galvantula. I feel like I would have rather seen him pick up Ribombee instead of Galvantula. I think Ribombee would make so much more sense on his team. But yeah, that's fine. And then he has Haunter, whatever. And he has Empoleon and Druddigon, 2 good 4s. There's not much Ice types? Yeah, that's true. Gliscor is a very good Pokemon. In fact, of all of the teams we've covered, there's not been a single Ice type question mark. Yeah, no Ice types. So I'm just looking up. There is a Vanilluxe. There's a Vanilluxe, but this is the thing. It's the thing. Like a lot of teams are gonna be forced to run Ice move if they go up against this team. Mid Waters. That's true. it's like I get wanting to stick with, but I would have just spent up for a Bombi, to be honest, if I was going to do that, and I would have not taken Haunter. I think like Roby did not get drafted. I don't think. Where is it? Control F, Rabombi. Okay, it's 7. So he would have to spend 1 more point. I don't understand people's infatuation with Haunter in this league. I spelled it wrong. Because it's not even here. It's... It's okay. It's like... It's fine. I don't know. I did not like Rabombi last season. Did you have Rabombi? I don't remember you... I don't think you had Rabombi. The main point of him having Rabombi over Galvantula. Oh, Hassan did, and it died. I mean, like, he doesn't have to pigeonhole his Galvantula into just sticky web. He can run like specs or life orb from the minions. I think it has big U-turn too. Does that have U-turn? No, I'm blind. It doesn't have U-turn. No, it's Volt Switch. That's Volt Switch. That's all good. He has a lot of turning. He has U-turn, 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 Volt Switch. Spam Thunder, Galvantula, true. Which makes his Empoleon grab pretty good. It gives him another answer to ground types. Obviously, Empoleon's weak to ground itself, but it's good. Galvantula also gets Energy Ball? It does. It gets Energy Ball and Giga Drain. I think it seems good. I can't explain. I feel like with this team, though, he's going to put a lot of the defensive pressure on his... Well, he has Empoleon and Druddigan, which can both be defensive. Because obviously, like... And he wants to equal Sticky Web for Braviary, but... It's like... The main issues with this team is, like, his speed tiers are... Okay, my fastest Pokemon is 108. I have two Pokemon 108. And then my next fastest is Excadrill 88. That's a 20 speed point difference, right? You have, and you also if your fastest Pokemon is only 108, that most teams are gonna have a Pokemon faster than 108. Druddigan's very good, dude. Druddigan can do a lot. It can do the spikes, Stealth Rock, it does Glare, it can just spam Outrage if it wants to. It has like 3 really good abilities, so. Yeah, Rough Skin, Sheer Force, Mold Breaker, all fantastic abilities. You can use Dragon Tail to phase stuff out if you set up hazards. You can Glare to paralyze stuff. Roar. Has good coverage. Some toxic stuff. Can use Taunt. I think Druddigan's a very good Pokemon. I think realistically Haunter never comes. I think most weeks you're looking at like these 5 plus either Empoleon or Druddigan depending on matchup. Yeah, super defensive probably. But the fact that he has mainly offensive Pokemon besides Whiscore, it pretty much forces these two into defensive role if he decides to bring them. Scarf Haunter, I don't think Haunter's very good, to be honest. I think Haunter's super overrated. There's a lot of space out there I would rather have than Haunter. Like Estelgor, it's just for that speed tier alone, it's worth it. I think Voltaunt again, I think Voltaunt's a very good 3. Electrode is pretty good 3, Executor. Man, Nitro's not very good. Man, 3s kind of suck, don't they? I know the 3 Typhlosion thing, use Trevenant. These are all good 3s on here. Anyway, getting off track. I would have just spent 1 point up to get Rabombi instead of Galvantula, and then just taken whatever 2. I don't know. I thought about Zangoose. I think Zangoose is pretty good. And it just kind of, sometimes it just doesn't do enough though. And you wear yourself out very easily. This is a good team. This is at least a good team. I don't know if I call it a great team though. I mean, some weeks he's like. Some leagues he's gonna have to bring Haunter, right? Because it so can spin block just for sticky web, right? But like, who cares? If you're being forced to bring Haunter just so it can spin block, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I like the team. I'm not crazy about his team. I'll try to stick to Tyler. I do like how much like turn he has in his team. He has 4 Pokemon that he needs multiple turn. He also like X-Drill can just take over games too sometimes. So let's look at this thing. Man. The variability between Gliscor and Infernape is really good too. I think I'm gonna say this is a great team. I think it seems very good. It doesn't have like, yeah, it's very bad. I feel like a lot of people could. I feel like a decent amount of people could pilot this team pretty well. Scarflay, why would you bring Scarflay into matchup? Well, I mean, I guess I could see why. Honestly, why would you just not run Scarflay and just psychic everything? Psychic everything. Like, Scarflay Psychic does so much against this team. Or even, like, Specs. Folion for me. I would even consider, like, Calm Mind, to be honest. You set up for free versus this and just Calm Mind. I don't know. Anyway, next team. Alright. Benjamin, I don't know who this is. Anyway, Sun team. Pretty good Sun team. I really like this team. This is a really good weather team. Torkoal, obviously, the go-to Sunmon, right? You don't really need to do much this one. You just need to Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, and then you like Yawn, Lava Plume, and that's all this thing's ever gonna do. And just hold the Heat Rock. That's all it needs to do, right? Because you have 3 amazing Sun users here. With Victini, V-Crate is gonna do 1,000,000 damage in the Sun. Slitherwing's gonna be really good in the Sun. Venusaur, one of the best chlorophyll features in the game. This team is really good. And the thing is, like, when I was like talking about the teams with Tyler, he said it's not gonna work out because he's got a Trick Room team. Hatterene does not need to use Trick Room to succeed. Hatterene is a very good Pokemon without Trick Room. First of all, the fact that he had the foresight to draft a Magic Bounce Pokemon for his Sun team, very smart. It means that he doesn't have to fully rely on Rapid Spin and Torkoal. He doesn't have to rely on Defog from Talonflame or Rapid Spin, God forbid, Rapid Spin Carcoal. Like, the fact that he has Magic Bounce in this gives him a very good, like, fallback on if he's afraid of, like, getting hazard stuff against him, right? And even, like, this is very good on his own. Like, you can just run Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Sword Power, and then, like, what else have you seen from, like, Nuzzle? And you're in good shape. Like, this is a very good Pokemon. I think Hatterene does not... I'm gonna go with Hatterene is finally gonna be on a team in this league. It's just not gonna pigeonhole it to being a Trick Room Pokemon, because now it actually gets a shine. and actually do what it can do that's best. Just be a good fallback Pokemon. You just need this defensively. You just need this defensively, and you're good to go. And this is a defensive Pokemon that has a potential to take over games. I really like Hatterene on this team. This is a very good Sun team. This team is very good. Victini is gonna hit super hard in the Sun, dude. This thing is gonna be a monster. Just V-Create alone. You don't even have to run Choice Band. God, man, if you run Choice Band, you're gonna hit super hard V-Create. And obviously, if you have like Bolt Strike for coverage as well. You can even run like mixed with like Overheat Bolt Strike too if you want to get cute with it. You have U-turn too for pivoting. You have good coverage too. Oh man, this one wants to be so good in this team. Hatterene sweeps all teams. It sometimes does, dude. It sometimes does. And then he has Slitherwing too, which just gives him like incredible priority with first impression. It has U-turn. And then close combat. You can even run like a bulk upset if you want to. You can run like Morning Sun too in the Sun for like recovery's sake. And then you got the also on top of all this, because you're the only one that drafted a Sun team, you just got to have Venusaur too. Incredible. One of the second best chlorophyll sweeper now that Lilla gets in the game. But obviously still very good. Growth gives you just +2. And then you can just run like, obviously this won't have extra Terra Blast, but you'll have like Weather Ball, you have Solar Beam, you can run like Earthquake for coverage, or just Sludge Bomb for your poison stab. And then like, you don't really, these 5 alone are just gonna be amazing. Like, this is an incredible Sun team, and then he has Tropius in the back with Harvest in the Sun. Very just good pick here. Because Harvest, well, even then, like you have 3 good Sun-based abilities, But probably what it's gonna be is you're gonna run like Terra Water or Terra Fairy or something like that in the Sun with Harvest, and you're gonna run like Citrus Berry. Yeah, it does have solar power. I don't think you're ever going to use solar power to sing its base 72 special attack. But yeah, what you're probably going to do most weeks is just, you're going to use Curse. You're going to use like Curse, Substitute, something. I don't know. I'm excited though. Curse, Substitute, Seed Bomb, Terra Blast. I don't know. And then it's like, I don't know, it's just going to be good on here. I don't think you're going to bring it every week because Tropius is a terrible Pokemon, but it's a fun mod. And then you're probably never going to bring Shiftry, and then Talonflame is just a good, why not have it? If you're really scared one week and you need to just have Defog in your team just to make sure yeah, there you go. And also it's a very good speed tier out of Sun. 126, very good speed tier to have. Because otherwise, your best speed tier is going to be 100 Victini outside of Sun, so. Very spectacular. I mean, I guess why not try it? But yeah, I think this team's very good. I don't know what Tyler was smoking when he said that this team was awful. I don't even know who this is, but this team is very good. This is the best Sun team that's ever been drafted in this league. I can say that confidently. I know who this is, but I think Benjamin gets the best team so far. This team is amazing. And it's not going to be hard to pilot, because it's a weather team. I don't know, like, when Tyler and I were discussing teams, he said, oh, he's trying to run Trick Room and Sun, and it's not going to work out for him. But, like, he didn't realize that he doesn't have to run Trick Room with Hatterene. Hatterene is just here to be a good support Pokemon. That's going to be the backbone of his team. This team is amazing. Very well drafted team. So now we're gonna pivot from the Sun team to the Rain team. I actually think this team is okay too. I actually like think about it more. So obviously has Pelipper, most Drizzle, your Damp Rock, Hurricane / Surf for Hydro Pump, U-turn, Roost, and then probably Defog. Yeah. So basically, annoying jerk is that every person drafts a team of Pokemon they want to use, and it is then it's a Swiss bracket, and then the top teams in the Swiss phase go to playoffs, and then the winner of the playoff bracket wins the league. Yeah, that has happened to you. And then he has Latios, very interesting Pokemon to grab immediately after Power Color. It's gonna be good. I think, and it's glad Latios is going to play again. It's just gonna be able to do a lot of things. It can be a support Pokemon with Defog and Roost if it wants to be, but it can also just be Specs and just drop a Draco. Because why not? Why not? Or you can be a Calm Mind with like Dragon Pulse and Psychic. I think Latios is a very good Pokemon. It's just like it's kind of weird that this is the 11 he chose to go after getting Pelipper. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's a very good pick. Maybe like Zapdos would have made a bit more sense, but I still like Latios here. And then he got Basculegion, which is like the Rain Abuser now. Now, Last Respects is banned, so. But obviously, like Swiss Swim, Molebreaker Dash really all work, but obviously on this team, fucking run Swiss Swim. And 78 speed with Swim, that's just good enough to outspeed most everything in the game. Yeah, 560 speed in Swiss Room with Jolly, and then Adamant you get up to 500, so yeah, that's good enough speed in rain. And then Last Respects is banned, so that's not an option. But he does just get to use Wage Crash. And I think it's actually like Head Smash for some reason, so why not? And then you can use like Aqua Jet, and unfortunately you don't have a good physical Ghost move. Like Ghost Stab, you're gonna be forced to use like Phantom Force, or you can just like I don't know Ice Fang. But most of the time you're just gonna click Wave Crash, right? True. College is more important. And he has Klefki, very good Pokemon just in the range. This is a bulky Steel type, and then it can also set up hazards for him. Get us spikes. Get us spikes. It can use Thunder Wave. It can get up screens too. So yeah, very good Pokemon to just have here. So you can set screens, get Basculegion behind it. That's very, very threatening. And he has Quillfish of the Sweden variety. I would have liked to see him draft another like Swiss Swim abuser that wasn't Quillfish. But obviously this is very good. It's probably gonna be a wall most of the time because man, this isn't the most threatening Pokemon to be honest. Yeah, under rain. It can be. But I'm just not like super scared of it. But yeah, it can be a wall or it can just be a Swiss Swim Creeper, so it's nice to have that option. And then he has Jolteon too on this team, which again is a good Pokemon to have under rain. You're gonna have 100% accurate Thunders. You're gonna have an Electric Immunity, which you didn't have before drafting Jolteon. And then you're also gonna have your Terra Blast coverage too. So yeah, obviously everyone wanted Terra Captain Jolteon with its base 130 speed. So yeah. It's a very one-dimensional Pokemon. It's a very good one-dimensional Pokemon. You can like get huge and Calm Mind if you want to. Terra Ice Jolteon, yeah, or even you can make it Terra Water too and have it abuse the rain too. So, Regilucky. I mean, it's almost better Regilucky, but well, actually, no, you don't get Air Defense. Never mind, but. And then like Type Null is okay. Pompon, I don't think there's much use. Air Transfer is very true. And it's Sneasel, very slept on Pokemon because the Sweden Sneasel was getting all the hype when this one's still very good. 115 speed, 95 attack. You can knock off. You get Ice Crash. Or Ice Punch, I guess, is good enough. You get Triple Axle? You do get Triple Axle, I think, yeah. And then you get, like, Priority Ice Move. And then you're all set. You can run Sword Dance if you want. You can run Choice Band. You can run Brick Break. Yeah, very good Pokemon to just tack on here. I think it's gonna be a little awkward to sweep with this team because Bastion Legion's gonna be your main win con, but it's gonna be very hard to deal with. Especially if you put up dual screens. Bastion Legion, Latios, Jolteon, all the teams will all go crazy. I think it's pretty good. I think this team's a pretty good team. I think lack of Stealth Rock is like my biggest criticism of the team. You know, you're not gonna have Stealth Rock in this team ever. That's fine, Jen. This ranking today is the ranking is just kind of a side of that side part of it, but. This is either good or great. DK's team, almost there to DK. His team is very good though. I think this is a great team, actually. Now that I'm thinking about this more, I really like this team. Yeah, I really like this team. Yeah, Celebi Hater. What a great tier. Great tier. Alright, Sea of Beautiflies is next. This is G-Boot's team. Rotom Wash, very good Pokemon. Rotom Wash. Very good, just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be a very good support Pokemon, and then sometimes I'll be offensive. So, very good. Volcarona is very weird in draft, because you know it's gonna be Quiver Dance. I mean, it doesn't have to be Quiver Dance, that's what's me most of the time. And it's very threatening, because there's a lot of teams you can just set up a Quiver Dance and win, but a lot of teams are going to be prepared for it, and it has to run BD, especially on this team, which has no hazard control, so. Well, you have Defog on Rotom, but still. Mega Venusaur, very good just defensive pairing here with Rotom, and you also have a Water, Fire, Grass core, so that's cool. Mega Venusaur can do multiple things. Most times it's going to come in and be fat, and sometimes it'll just do Giga Drain. And Sludge Bomb, maybe heal up with Synthesis, and then maybe you'll just fire enough in your quick mention occasionally. Metagross, another just good Pokemon. Honestly, it's got great stats. You can run stealth. You can run like a Stealth Rock set. You can run like, or you can run an offensive set. An offensive set with like Meteor Mash, Earthquake, Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch, like Rock Polish. You can run Rock Polish too. It's probably just gonna set up Stealth Rocks most of the time, and then that's covered in Air Hero Army too. Most times, there's probably gonna be this Rocker in most games. So, Choreo gets Defog. I don't think Choreo is a good Defogger, but it does have it. And then you have Low Kicks. Low Kicks is good. It's one of the Pokemon where like it's just good. It's gonna come in. It's gonna click Tinted Lens move, gonna do damage, right? First impression, Sucker Punch. Maybe use like Leech Life occasionally, or your turn. And then you Choice Bandits. I think it's a little redundant in terms of your bug coverage with Volcarona, but it is a good Pokemon. And then you got this Terra Hariyama, which is very good Terra because you can make it a wall type with 6-Fat. That, or you can make it a Flame Orb Gut set. One of the two. Yeah, his team's just good. Like the major criticism is his lack of like overall speed. His stats Pokemon is Volcarona. Yeah, exactly. That lacks speed. He does have a lot of priority though. He has Bullet Punch from Metagross. He has First Impression and Sucker Punch from Low Kicks. He has Bullet Punch from Hariyama. Especially with Terrasilize, he can just give you Terra Steel and then get Stab Bullet Punch. I don't think these people are going to be used very much. Oreo can sleep though with like Quiver Dance. And then, like, the other flaw of this team is that he doesn't have many hazards. His only form of hazards is going to come from Marowak. Well, you know, that he has no hazards outside Stealth Rock, so he's not, you're never going to be afraid of like him getting a spike or something, right? But yeah, I think like it's most likely just to be these 6 Pokemon almost every week. But it's a pretty good core, so it's a very just good balanced team. Volcarona should not get Sticky Web. I think Jeep's team is pretty good. I'm not crazy scared of this team. I think but Jeep's gonna be able to pilot it well, so it's a good team. I think it's better than Dejan's team. All right, this guy with Garganacl and Skeleturge and Mandibuzz. This is Zelos' team, right? I think pretty sure this is Zelos' team. So Garganacl kind of destroyed everyone in the against last season because for whatever reason, whenever anybody faced Garganacl, they didn't run Overcloak. Hopefully people are smart this season and run Clover Cloak when they play against Garganacl and Knuckle Stack. So this thing doesn't just run wild. But also because it was moved to Section 8, it's not going to tear anymore. So it's gonna be held back a little bit of that, but it's still gonna be very good. Like especially if your opponent is not running Cobra Cloak, Rock Salt. What's this called? I don't know what it's called. Salt Gear. It's still gonna be very good. It can set up Curse or Iron Defense. Curse, and then just be like Instant Earthquake, Curse, Recover. You can put Stealth Rock on if you want to, but you can make it just a carry Pokemon like Curse, Iron Defense, Body Press. And it has a really good stat speed, so. However, Salt Cure loses a lot of mileage if the opponent is running Cobra Cloak on Cobra Cloak, so that is going to be something to be mindful of. Purifying Salt, obviously, amazing ability too, so. And then this one is Skeleturge. Having these two Pokemon on the same team is very evil. But again, because this thing has no longer access to Terra, it's going to be a little weaker, but still, it can take over games with Torch Song. As Unaware, you're gonna burn stuff Lilith. You're gonna use Slack off to recover, and you're probably gonna use like Yawn or something, and you're not even afraid of hazards. You can use one Heavy Duty Boots, and you're good. These two together is a very good defensive core. So I think these two play off each other well. Like they share a couple weaknesses to water and ground, but they still play off each other pretty well. And then he brings in Mandibuzz too to kind of solve that ground weakness. Whenever you play against this guy, it's gonna be a slow grind because he just has a bunch of walls. He just has to work through.
Your favorite playlist. Voted most popular broken
Yeah, obviously this might probably be his main form. Has controls defog. It can pivot, U-turn,
leverage trading is high
knock off,
can exceed deposits.
Brave Bird, Roost. You can use Roost. You can use Brave Bird. You can use Toxic. Yeah, thank you, Vision. Thanks for coming by, man. And then he has Jirachi. I really like Jirachi. It didn't do a lot for me, team. 3 Grace Iron Head. You can use Wish. You can set Stealth Rocks. You can use Sword Power. Very good Pokemon. And he has Sandy Shocks too. You also get an Electric Immunity in here too. And just you can set up Stealth Rock or Spike Bits. You can use Booster Energy. Make your Thunderbolts and your power really strong. Very good Pokemon. Also pretty fast through 101. Gives a good speed tier. Just one more speed higher than Jirachi though. And then he has things like Swacky, Defy, Responsibility. I think Swacky will see a decent amount of play. Just because it has Grassy Terrain plus Grassy Glide. And then I think Defy, maybe just Terracat, is going to come at some point. I don't know exactly what it's going to do with it. But it should be good. I think his team is good. Obviously lags offensive pressure, but the fact that Skeletor, Garganical, and Jirachi can all take over games is pretty good. And it's going to take a lot of Luke to wear its team down, right? Especially when these 3 all have really good overview. All 4 of these 2 actually. So. And then you all get boosted by potential Grassy Terrain too. I think like his 6th Pokemon, whichever one's going to have to be, is going to be like, he's going to have a weak Blink every week. I think like the fallout after these 5 is pretty major. But it shouldn't be that hard for him to overcome. So I'm going to say that his team is good. I don't think it's one of the better teams this season, but it's definitely a good team. Alright, next up is Zishan's team. And you got Val. How Val fell 12 picks, whatever it was, I don't know, but... Val, in my opinion, is the best Pokemon in draft. Just because there's a sheer multitude of ways you can do it. Fairy Fighting is an insane stat combination. You can run Booster Energy, you can run Specs, you can run Scarf, you can run Life Orb, you can run Swords Dance, you can run